Tonight on America, the conversation, should you vote in primaries? The answer is, well, yes, but you should still listen to the rest of the episode because Andrew and Tim have a lot more to say. Tonight on America, the conversation. Hello and welcome to America the Conversation. I am one of your hosts, Tim Phillippe, and with me, as always, is Andrew Turner. What's up, man? Are you primarily good today?
I was literally going to make that joke.
Yes.
It's the one thing I have at the intro of the podcast is to make a joke on what you say. Bastard.
Yes. Well, I mean, great minds think alike, and a lot of bad minds are thinking alike by all running for president and primarying Joe Biden on the left, and obviously running for the Republican seat on the right. And it's who's running? I think I heard some potential prisoner is going to run, a pudding-fingered guy, a virgin, and who else? No, I can't make fun of any others because I don't remember their names. Vivek Ramaswamy, who's just a tech billionaire, douchebag, right winger. But
I mean, the vice president to the guy.
Oh, Pence. Oh, yeah. Well, he's so white. He's almost clear, and I just don't see him sitting there. You know what I mean? Like he's just.
I mean, Mike Pence could look
worst.
at cocaine and turn it into Ambien. So
that's good. I mean, my God,
it's the truth.
He is the. I don't know. Is him? I don't get. Like today we're talking about primaries. That's why I stole Andrew's joke, and for sure just ruined the rest of the episode. But for the people on the right, let's talk about them first. With Pence, most people, we view this as they're running for vice president, not Ron DeSantis. He actually thinks he can win despite being just potentially a Westworld robot. But why is Pence running? That I don't get. He's obviously not going to win. He has to know he's not going to win. Is he really that brainwashed that he thinks God is calling him? I think that's really what it is. There's no other, because he's not going to be Trump's vice president again. The guy fucking hates him. Like, so what, why? Answer now. Please answer. Because I don't get it.
All right. I'm glad that you've asked me to dive into the head of
Mike Pence. Yeah.
Theocrat.
You know how he thinks, right?
And talk show radio host.
Indiana governor. That's right. And a person who ignored several AIDS crises and
wannabe Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah. He was a radio host. Who hated
for a long time.
No Mulan ever. No more Mulan.
Was he anti-Mulan?
He saw Mulan.
I didn't know this. This is great.
Oh my God.
Let's get down to business.
Stop right there. They will fucking flag us right off of YouTube. But
to defeat dance. Not different enough.
He saw Mulan and then wrote an op-ed or a blog post, very lengthy thing about how Mulan is out to teach women that it's okay to be in the military and to promote women in the military, in infantry and things like that. And it was a very long-winded thing about I can't find it anywhere on the internet. I looked for it one day, it's fucking gone.
I thought the message of Mulan was it's always disappointing when you find out the twink is a woman.
But maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's I don't suffer that disappointment. I mean, you may.
Right.
I know that might be a thing but and Danny Osmond also is there. Like
Danny Osmond is there. Also, Mike Pence wrote a bunch of op-eds on why big tobacco was okay and we shouldn't regulate smoking.
Who the fuck takes the side of big? Nobody takes the side of big tobacco. Like, what the fuck?
Except every Republican in the 90s.
I guess. Well, I guess they did. Fuck, that's weird. Like, it's such a smoking. I mean, lots of folks smoke still, but like, it's just such a. Everybody's so anti-smoking then, and then have stopped since then. Like, the fact that anybody would side with cigarettes. Like it's such like, who are you? The fucking John Hamm's character on the fucking.
This may be crazy, Tim, but I know why they did it.
Money.
It's almost it's almost like those companies lobbied those people.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just like, but it's like cigarettes. And like, I mean, I don't know. Smoke if you want. I don't give a shit.
It's the devil.
Your body. But
there's a great American movie called Thank You for Smoking about the companies lobbying Hollywood and Washington D.C. to keep smoking around.
So crazy that, I mean, of all people, him though, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just for something like that like he hates so many things, but he's like so pro smoking. That baffling, whatever. But he's not going to win.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
at least it makes sense because it makes sense with John Boehner, not just because he's corrupt, but also because he's a heavy smoker.
Yeah,
you're like,
sure.
okay,
he's
like,
a cigar guy.
Like, yeah.
Okay, sure.
I think he's a cigarette guy. I think him and Obama used to get in trouble for smoking together. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know Obama smokes like a bunch of cigarettes for like a long time.
Like a fish too. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Not that I'm judging him, but I'm just saying, like,
his body. But for real, Mike, I don't get that one. Will baffle me forever. I really do think it's a God calling him thing. Everybody else just wants, either to run for vice president like Nikki Haley or Vivek or Tim Scott.
Well, there's a couple things. First off, I think a lot of these. Okay, I think that whether it's Mike Pence applies to this part of the group, which is, I think these people think if Donald Trump drops out or he dies or he goes to prison,
right,
it's an open field.
Sure.
And at that point, any of them can win because it's crazy time, right?
Man, dude, what does that look like? Fucking shit. I don't see a world where he doesn't stay in the race. That's like I can't even imagine.
I don't see a world where he doesn't win the nomination. Like he could go to prison and I think he'd win the nomination.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Like if he dies or goes to prison and somehow loses, like I think that's what their calculation is politically. Mm-hmm. Like I will be the one to clean it up, and they all think that.
Die. It's not happening. He will live. He will outlive me somehow.
I don't know. Spoiler alert for Succession, but he may Logan Roy it. Just like,
it's been long enough. It doesn't matter.
Both Biden and Donald Trump, I'm worried they're going to pull Logan Roy, and we're going to be like, it's episode 3, and now they're suddenly having a heart attack.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I think Satan has that much power right now, like, or God, whoever's the one in charge right now. Like there's no way that he's gonna die. It would be,
but I think a lot of them. I think to answer your question, is we will diatribe about Succession. I think a lot of them think that they could clean up if something happens to Donald Trump, whatever that reason is that he drops out, whether he's in prison or dead. But I think that. Also, it's very profitable if you have the money to run for president.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It becomes a book tour, and it becomes like a job interview for Fox News, and it becomes a ability to be lobbied by major corporations, and it puts your names in the history book technically. So I think there's a lot of reasons to run for president and not even try to win if you're a relatively rich person.
You get money for it to run too. I mean, all that's got to be spent on stuff, or you violate campaign finance laws, which Don did. Which
does not seem to be a problem with a lot of politicians.
So they seem to not care about that. So yeah, I guess it is really just all to sell books half the time. I mean, versus Marianne Williamson, who, I mean, maybe she just wants to keep selling her books. She's an author, but God, I think
Marianne believes, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, one thing
Republican primary.
I would love to see the Republican primary, and you know what? If you want to remain abstinent, that's great. But I would love to see Donald Trump tear apart Tim Scott for being a virgin, because he has made it profoundly about his campaign, or in his campaign. But that
wait, is Tim Scott an actual?
He's an actual virgin. Yeah, he says he's unmarried and he's a hardcore Christian. He says,
first virgin president.
Mm-hmm, yeah. He's not just the first.
Never mind. I'm voting Tim Scott.
Yeah, I know. He's wait until marriage kind of guy. How all most conservative Christians are. Bullshit. But yeah, he's an actual virgin.
And you gotta feel sorry for any girl who winds up with a guy who actually waited till marriage, like didn't get any fucking experience.
Like that. I mean, just because it's the 40-year-old virgin scenario, but at least with Tim Scott, not only is that, but you're a weirdo. Tim's kind of, and I'm a Tim. I gotta support my Tims, but I don't want to support that Tim.
If you're marrying somebody who is a virgin because of their
Sure.
religion, it's very likely that you're their religion too.
Yeah,
and
that's
also a
true. That's
virgin,
true.
I would assume.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
not a 40-year-old virgin scenario.
but like, I mean, I spent a solid portion of my 20s learning how to do that correctly.
Yeah, like you gotta,
yeah. I mean, like, I had some great women, and a couple men in my life taught me some lessons. But I mean, like, it was.
and he's gonna be the
you know,
first one, and which is crazy. And then you have like, I just don't know how, like, where he came from, too, but like versus Nikki Haley, who was, is running for vice president, basically, like at this
Yeah,
point. Like,
I think that there
absolutely,
is a
she's the most
separation
flip-floppy
of some.
person I've ever heard.
There are definitely some candidates that are trying to gun for Trump's vice president.
Yeah.
I think
Vivek for sure wants it.
Yeah, that's what this speaks bigger to is whether, like, why all these people are running. I think that changes individually. I think that changes whether or not they believe it. I think that changes whether or not they think they'll win if Trump drops out.
Yeah.
I think that changes if they're trying to get a book deal or a Fox News show. Like, it varies candidate to candidate, right? Like, on why they're doing this. I think Mike Pence is probably the most obvious example of someone who's like, hey, I'll never win it unless something happens to Trump, but maybe something will happen to Trump.
Would he? I don't think he would. I think Chris Christie would win over Mike Pence. Like, I mean, hell, I think the mayor of Miami who just announced would win over
Mike I think Republicans hate Mike Pence.
Yeah,
because he betrayed the president, according to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention there's that whole bullshit. But like, I don't even think conservatives like him.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that conservatives,
like normal Reagan. I don't even think Reagan people.
Oh,
Reagan people. Yeah, sorry,
moderate Republicans,
moderate folks.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure Pence has his base of 1 or 2%, but I mean, like, the vast majority of them do not respect or like him for sure, and he's delusional for running.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there are plenty of delusional people who've run for president before, and there's a couple who won, including Donald Trump. So
yeah,
I mean, like, once again, I don't want to predict that stuff. I think I will say that if I had to bet, Donald Trump will be the presidential nominee for the Republican Party.
100%. Unless I can see the GOP not wanting to even let him. I don't know. I can see them not, but like, because then they'll lose. No, I've said that before, and it's wrong. Like, there's no
think that out.
I know, like, it's just, once you start thinking for like one or 2 seconds on it, just like, but God, there's at the convention, they're not like, he could be fully convicted at that meeting.
Okay, one second. I gotta boot up my time machine. All right, let's see. February.
Don't show anybody.
16.
We need to patent this technology.
Be right back. 1 second.
All right. Fuck. Well, now Andrew's gone back
Tim
in time.
from 2016. Stop saying Donald Trump can't win.
Fine.
Stop saying the Republican Party will do anything to change it.
Fine.
You're gonna do it again in fucking 8 years. You fucking idiot.
I'm not saying he can't win. I'm saying that
the Republicans are going to stop him.
They've had that they've had enough of him. Like the establishment. But not the hogs, not the fashy people.
The
like,
Republican establishment is the opposite of the Democratic establishment. They always listen to their base. They always listen to their base.
They really do. Fuck, they're good at their jobs. My God, good at winning. They're not good at their jobs.
They're good at manipulating people through culture wars.
Yeah, sure.
To vote for them and then never actually do anything
they're good
to
at
solve
being
the problems.
evil. They're great supervillains. A lot of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like, who's running for the DNC? There was Marianne, but who else just jumped in and is trying to primary Uncle Joe?
Well, there is Robert Kennedy.
Oh God, the anti-vaxxer asshole married to that lady on was it Curb Your Enthusiasm?
But he's also a Kennedy.
I know he's a Kennedy. Sure, but like, the second people start hearing anti-vaxxer shit from him, like, he loses.
Yeah, no,
like, he's worse than Marianne at that. Well, he
is a right wing, like, center right candidate, like more so than Joe Biden. Like, and he has Kennedy conspiracy theories
versus Bobby and Jack, who fucking were actual goddamn Democrats, and not to say that they were any better, but they weren't there. He's Bobby's son, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, is Bobby's son? I don't remember. Bobby Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy the third.
His parents were Robert F. Kennedy and Ethel Kennedy.
Okay, yeah. So he's Bobby's kid. Gosh.
Yeah, so the declared candidates in the Democratic primary are Joe Biden, Robert F. Kennedy, and Marianne Williamson. Of course, Cornel West is running for the Green Party.
That's right, Cornel
the People's
West
Party nomination. There is one more declared candidate actually for the Democratic Party.
Who? You?
Joe Exotic.
Shut up. Joe Exotic is actually running.
He's running as a Democrat.
Wow, from prison. Oh, hey, this would be a good test case, actually. Honestly, I'm actually glad he's doing this. Let lawyers look at this and go, can this actually happen? Because if it can't, then we can say, no, Trump can't run for prison.
Yeah, he's calling himself an independent Democrat, which I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? Because he was a right wing. He voted for Trump last time.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely right wing. Like
Joe Exotic. How does
beyond being, an animal abuser and rapist and
horrible
manslaughterer
person. And hired an assassin.
Joe
I don't know what you classify
that. Joe Manchin has said he has not decided if he's going to run.
What is the party I discovered today? Let's talk about the third potential party running against all these people that might actually have some sort of a chance to kill the Democrats, which sucks. Like if they have the lot of money that they do, they worry me more than anybody else. Maybe they don't worry you. I don't know. But Joe Manchin, I don't know. No, what's their names? What are they called? The no labels. Isn't that a fucking skating brand?
As a group? Yeah. No labels. It's like a super PAC.
That's like the one I sent you today. The one that's they're back in cinema and they're maybe backing Joe as a third party run against Joe Biden. I think is what it said. You can check it out on our Instagram at American Conversation.
Waste of money.
Yeah, useless waste of money. All you're doing,
I mean, Joe Manchin will not run for a third party. I guarantee you that.
No, I don't think he's that stupid.
He may run in a Democratic primary as a conservative Democrat, and we'll see him on stage in a debate. But I don't think he'll run third party because
he's already the de facto most powerful person in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, exactly. He has so much power now. Why? Yeah.
Was it the guy who backs all the Supreme Court justices, like Scalia and Clarence Thomas, is like the most powerful person you've never seen. What's their names? A More Perfect Union reported on this. Like the creepy little nerd guy who's just behind the scenes and pulling all the strings for all the justices working in the Federalist Society is like basically, I would say the equivalent to Manchin with the Democrats, like where he wields all the power without having fucking any actual.
I mean, the Federalist Society is very much like the Palpatine to the Darth Maul that is the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
There and APAC and a bunch of other like super PACs that are for corporations, no labels.
Yeah,
like those are the people who are actually pulling the strings. Federalist Society like literally handpicks judges for the conservatives to pick and writes like judicial reviews for justices to use that are conservative.
Yeah, all of the justices Trump got his list from the Federalist Society. They've been around for the 80s, I think, is when they I think it's when they had started, or they're a right-wing think tank or potentially
bribery machine.
Yeah, bribery machine. Yeah, bribery machine. That's a way to put it. Yeah, they're and yeah, Joe Manchin is basically that same guy. I wish I remembered his name, but he's just a piece of shit who backed Clarence Thomas.
No one in the audience listening gives a shit.
No, they don't.
They don't come here to learn about fucking rich.
You don't
fucking right wingers that like not their name. No, they come to hear me yell at you about how there's no hope. Let's all be honest.
There's some, but not today.
not in this discussion.
No, not in this discussion. No.
I will bet money, barring an act of God, that the 2024 election will be a repeat of the 2020 election.
Yeah, I do firmly believe that is going to be the case. I have my like lovely wild card guesses. I like having those, but I just don't. I would like it to. I think my wild card is Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis is the two, because the other two won't be able to somehow run. Either Joe's just not going to, and Don's going to go be found by some sort of court to be enabled, which I just don't think can happen even in that amount of time. But I just there's no way. Like
if we're going into fantasy land, like let's just have Bernie and AOC do it.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
If we're coming up with scenarios, right?
I'm trying to be realistic. More realistic with those two not involved.
But it's not realistic. What are you talking?
I'm saying if these two are not,
Gavin Newsom will not run. Gavin Newsom will not run either.
You don't think? Oh, really?
Kamala Harris will run, and the party will back her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's true. God, she's such a wet blanket of a
She'll
politician
lose.
now. Yeah, exactly.
She'll lose to DeSantis or Trump
easily.
But if something happened to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris would be the nominee. I would bet that.
Somebody check on Joe's health, Attorney General.
And I shouldn't say that she'll lose. I think that I'm way more worried she would lose. She might win. Like maybe. I think there's a lot of people who hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know,
Truth.
and like, I don't agree with Kamala on a lot. I don't think she's very charismatic at all. But like Joe Biden didn't win because he was Joe Biden last time. Like it wasn't because of his charisma. It was because he was not Trump.
Yeah, and he ran on that specifically.
I think we should have ran on a lot bigger things and gotten a bigger vote and taken more Congress. But I like, again, audience, Tim, I'll repeat this 1,000 times. We should not try to predict American politics.
No,
it is a bad move to make. The most solid prediction I will make, though, is that it will be Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee, and Joe Biden and Donald Bump. I think that it will be Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I think Joe Biden will likely win that general election
for sure
because. Not for sure.
Well, no, it's just, his favorability is higher than Trump's by leaps and bounds still, isn't it? Like,
sure.
Yeah. Like,
okay. Once again, let me paint you a scenario. Joe Biden is running against Trump. He's 8 points up. It is early October. A new crypto bank as well as Wells Fargo collapses.
Yeah.
But, the unemployment shoots to 9% within 2 weeks.
That's again a wild card though. Like,
sure. Russia succeeds in its invasion all of a sudden in Ukraine in the same 2 weeks.
Sure.
America looks weak.
Okay, then not
a terrorist attack happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What I mean is like,
polling wise, it like
sure.
Yeah. I'm not talking about factors. I'm saying like by the polls. Yeah. No. Say barring some. Horrible event. I think Joe's kind of got it in the bag. That's why I'm not too worried.
I agree. If the election were held today, I think you are right that Joe Biden wins it pretty much no matter what. But there is a year and 6 months?
I know.
Year and 4 months? Like for all sorts of horrible shit to happen. And the economy ain't exactly great. I don't know if you've been looking around. Like, jobs numbers are good. But inflation is high. The banks are acting crazier than ever with the crazy deals they're doing. Like, I'm just saying that like Joe Biden winning is not a sure thing, even if it is Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Although I think Joe Biden is probably the strongest candidate out of the people who are not probably. He is the strongest candidate out of all the people who are running, in my opinion. But not a good candidate, but the strongest.
Gooder, it's strong, like right, like we have to have the strong man in a sense in this way. We've got to have just who's gonna fucking win. It sucks. This sucks. This fucking sucks.
Well, and I mean, like, I am very much of the opinion that, and this is the importance of primaries, which is the second half of our episode in the Democratic primaries, not this year, but going forward, and in local primaries, like we got to pick better candidates.
Yeah,
like I don't think we can do anything now about this election, to be honest, that can really change anything. And there are plenty of people on the left who will disagree with me. And if, please leave it in the comments. Tell me why I'm wrong. I will not just troll you like I do our pets that we have. But I think Joe Biden's the best bet to do the least amount of harm, to do the most harm reduction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At this moment in time. But we would never be in this position if more people showed up to the primaries in 2020 and Bernie was the nominee. We would have won. We would have had a totally different country. We would have had a lot more legislation passed. I think we would have run more of Congress. So, I mean, that kind of transitions into, hey, here's the situation as the primaries now, especially in the Republican Party. But why are these primaries important, Tim?
I mean,
I think that's a question
exactly
we need to answer.
What you just said. I mean, we didn't have enough people out for Bernie. Like, same thing here happened in Texas, I believe. And it's not a blame to any of the younger generations, but I think like 18 million Gen Z kids stayed home and didn't vote for Beto O'Rourke.
Barack Obama, as well as the rest of the candidates, put their thumb on the scale. Like, Elizabeth Warren didn't drop out until the prime moment, to help the rest of the party as opposed to Bernie. And Obama called people the night of Super Tuesday and made calls and said, do this. You will vote for Joe Biden. With a lot of people in charge of Democratic local caucuses. and the Black Congressional Caucus like put their thumb on the scale on a bunch of places, and that's their right. You know, I'm not saying I think it was a bad move, but it's these primaries are important, and the only way to overcome the establishment's pick, whoever that is for more people to show up, more people to care about this, more people to make the primary in the Democratic Party just as important as the general with the Democrats versus Republicans. Because if we want to actually push the party to do our agenda and not just have them say, well, we're not openly racist or homophobic like the Republicans, we're going to have to put up candidates that are working class, that support working class issues, and have third rail issues such as a woman's body autonomy is a right, such as getting money out of politics, such as action on climate change. You know, these are things that have to be iron code third rails, you know, in our politics on the left. And the way to ensure that is to vote in primaries and put candidates up that promise it.
Like the biggest issue I have seen, and this is why people didn't vote for Beto O'Rourke here, uninspiring candidates. We have Obama was the last inspiring, Hillary to a different extent, and but both inspiring people. Joe did not inspire me to vote. The fear inspired me to vote.
I don't know. I don't think Hillary Clinton was inspiring. Well, I mean, like there
was
were
inspiring
a lot
as
of
the first woman.
There were a lot of women.
Exactly.
There was a lot of women that were inspired by her. But I mean,
the
in
mere
general,
fact of it, sure, her personality,
and I don't mean like a lot of women dismissing women. I'm saying there were a lot of people that are women that supported Hillary because they were excited to see a woman in the office. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying I disagree that we need to have that. I'm just saying there was some support there. But there was a lot of young women and a lot of progressive women that hated Hillary Clinton and didn't vote for her.
And voted for the women. I think it was like 54% of white women voted for Trump that year or something, or more than that. It was something insane. Like white women gave the election to Trump that year, which is
I do want to say
nuts.
A lot of people blame Bernie for that. I think that's bullshit. If you look at the numbers, more people that voted for Bernie in the primary wound up voted for Hillary in the general than people who voted for Clinton in the primary and voted for Obama in the general. There were more people that switched over that voted for Clinton in 2008 to McCain than there were people who voted for Bernie to switch to Trump. So, I mean, like, that's bullshit that it was the progressives that stopped that. Hillary Clinton not campaigning in the Midwest. Hillary Clinton thinking that Donald Trump was easy to beat. James Comey coming in the last minute with the FBI files. Those all won that election. Or lost that election, rather, more so than Bernie Sanders had anything to do with it, or his supporters. But these primaries are important because who we pick actually determines what policy is. We could have a better crop.
Like we all came, because I cannot tell you how many times I've had to tell family members, like, hey, you got to go vote in the primary. Like vote for the Democrat, obviously, if that's what you have there. But there are other people in there who are like my in-laws voted for Tom Steyer once because they liked him. But you can show, that's the opportunity for you to tell the DNC, the RNC, whoever your voting block is, that's who we
Tom
want.
Steyer would have been better than Biden.
Absolutely. I would have. The only reason I didn't vote for him is because Bernie Sanders was running. Like I liked Tom Steyer, but he, but he wasn't that inspiring. For some, Andrew Yang was inspiring for other people, but we don't have he's gross. I saw him get harassed by somebody.
He's an
recently.
idiot.
He is an idiot. But goddamn, I wish I could remember who was fucking with him. Oh, Daniel Tosh went up to him and asked him for money in an event.
I'm sorry. I need
not
to
a
be
Tosh
clear
fan,
to the
but that
audience.
was hilarious.
I am okay. First off, let's be clear. There is a thing called the highander, and there can only be one of us. And I am the greatest Andrew in existence. That is a simple fact.
That's true.
There is no other Andrew greater than me.
Yeah.
We
know
my
this.
Sexual paramours will tell you this.
Sure.
Many of my mentors and mentees.
Because
I am the greatest Andrew. Every other Andrew is either a war criminal or a bastard. Andrew Tate, Andrew Jackson, Andrew Johnson, Andrew Yang. Like, all
Dane's not a
Andrews
war
are
criminal.
horrible.
Is he a war criminal? I don't think
No,
so.
he's just an idiot.
He's an idiot.
And a grifter.
Yeah.
But all Andrews are horrible besides me.
true.
Andrews that are listening, change your name. You don't have to be
Go
horrible.
by
You can
Drew.
change it right now.
Go by Drew if you
Yeah,
can't change
go by
it.
Drew.
Yeah.
Go by Andy. I mean, I do D&D Andy, yes, but like the truth
That's
is,
more of
if
a
you go
trademark
by
kind of a
full
thing.
that's more of a it's branding, you know. Yeah. It sounds good on the tongue, but much like most Andrew does. That being said, I am the greatest Andrew. I am the high Ander, and I will be the only Andrew at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Eventually, after I slice off every other Andrew's head.
Sure.
So change your name to Drew.
Yes. Reference to Highlander. Andrew is not going around killing Andrews. With what was it? Who was in Highlander? Dan. No. Oh, I don't remember his name anymore.
Definitely not doing
Crit
that,
Lambert.
audience.
And Sean Connery as a Spaniard.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, rewatch Highlander 2. And Sean Connery in that is hilarious. Does not meet up with the Highlander.
The
till,
show
like,
is
very
better
end.
than the movies.
Oh, the show is cool. Yeah, Highlander 2 has
the show's a
nothing to
cool
do
show.
with the first one. It is ridiculous. It takes place in the
It
future.
retcons a bunch of shit too.
It does.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Get stoned, audience, you, everybody, and watch Sean Connery just basically buy a suit for about 45 minutes of the movie and sit on a plane and hit on women. And while it then cuts back to the Highlander shit happening in a dome city like The Simpsons, it's fucking all over the place versus the original Highlander, which was pretty good. God,
I am
fuck
the
that
Highlander.
movie. Anyways, Andrew Tate, though, despite him being an idiot, he still kind of inspired some people, other weirdos. But,
Andrew Yang, you mean? I don't think Andrew Tate.
Andrew Yang. Oh, yeah. No,
yeah. I think Andrew Tate has only inspired 14 to 25-year-old incels. Yeah.
Gross. Did not mean
and he has inspired the Romanian police
to come after him
way.
pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're missing inspiring candidates though. And I only say Andrew is inspiring because he's young. Like those are literally the only thing he's got.
And he had UBI. I think UBI is a popular policy.
And a UBI, that was cool too.
I think UBI is a popular policy. I don't think it'll work without rent control because all that's going to happen is if you give UBI, is a bunch of landlords are going to say, well, I'll bump up my rent that much.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so now everything costs 3 times as much. How much was the UBI?
I think
How
corporations will raise money and so will landlords. Yeah. But if we had rent control, if we had a little bit more market regulation, I think a UBI is a great idea. I think everybody should have a base of money that they can choose to spend it on whatever they want, including housing and food that they've already got, and healthcare that they already have. So
but we need somebody to help us get there, and we need you all to, and everybody, you all, us all, to go out and vote for the people that we want in the primaries, the actual progressive people who are saying all the popular things that you like.
There is one thing I want to talk about beyond the primaries in this election that are coming up, and that's primaries in general and what the Democrats have been doing in them, which I think is folly, which is investing in hardcore right-wing candidates and actually funding them in the Republican primaries, funding ads that support them with their super PACs in order to elevate these right-wingers. And a lot of Democrats will say it's a great idea because, like in the midterms in 2022, they did this with 7 candidates. The Democrats actually spent $19 million in support of hardcore right-wing candidates. Why
is this a good idea? You know you're getting there, but
they say it's a good idea because what that does is eliminate moderate Republicans, and the radicals are less likely to win in a general. So what they do is elevate the crazies is the idea. And then you get to run against a crazy, and it's easier to win your election.
Son of a bitch.
That has been proven true in the last election. However, that was the same mentality that got Donald Trump elected.
Yeah, it is.
CNN pushed Donald Trump to the top. Hillary helped push Donald Trump to the top because they thought he would be easy to beat, and then he wasn't. And I think that's the danger of the gamble that the Democrats are taking here, and I don't think it's worth the risk. Is that you put crazier and crazier people up, and if you lose, the crazy person now has power. And not only that, even if they lose, they gain legitimacy. They gain followers. They gain notoriety. They gain name recognition. They gain power. They gain ability. All because you put them in a place that they wouldn't have been without that Democratic money. And
let's pour this gasoline on the fire, so hopefully it'll go towards the river. That's what you just said. And no, it's going towards the buildings now.
Exactly, exactly.
What the fuck?
That is a great metaphor.
Getting better.
There's
metaphors. I'm really bad at them.
There is actually a great article that was written in 2022, right after the general, And it is a Mother Jones article by Ali Breland, and it talks specifically about this problem. And one of the things that he writes is elections aren't just elections. They're part of a permission structure. To win a primary election is in some ways to be deemed acceptable in our politics. These people aren't just losers who are barred from ever running again. They have gained star power. Now, this is a quote. Many of these candidates develop a much larger following, even if they lose their current race, says Mike Madrid, co-founder of the Lincoln Project. He told this to PBS. What we have seen is they come back and win for school board or a state legislative race or for a city council because their new awareness and new recognition they gained even in the losing seat against the Democrat. So regardless of the results of elections, Democrats contribute to bringing a flock of extremists closer into our politics by doing this. Even if they wind up winning against the Republicans, they change the Republican Party by putting these people on a pedestal into being more radical, more right-wing, and more fascistic. And I don't think it's worth investing in crazies on races we may or may not win.
Invest all that money into fucking people that can win. Jesus Christ, we win every goddamn race. This is why the Democrats, I used to say actively, is the joke, but they are actively fucking doing the wrong thing. They're actively shooting themselves in the foot. Like, this is... God, we need a better party. We need a better Democratic Party. Like, honest to God, like
maybe a better party. Economic system, and an economic system, government.
Sure. Yes.
Like in general.
Yes, sure. Like those are all obvious things. But in the confines of this,
feels like capitalism may be the root cause.
It feels like yes, it is. Capitalism is always the root cause. Also, religion to like a close second.
And other Andrews.
Andrew Tate,
that aren't me.
Hey, Andrew Tate, how are you doing on YouTube? Oh, wait, you're not. Wait, is he? They didn't let him back. Right? They didn't let him back. Fuck that guy.
I don't care. He fucking sucks. We could do a whole episode about how much I hate Andrew Tate.
We did a half of one at least when he got arrested. That was.
I mean, I'm sure I've blacked out and yelled about Andrew Tate multiple times in my life.
But no, what I'm saying
because he got a Bugatti. I need a Bugatti.
And then
do you have a Bugatti?
Fucking
real men don't read. That's my favorite, Andrew.
Real men don't read? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Real men don't need books.
They just watch the movies based on the books.
They experience life as real men.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he tweeted that shit.
All right. That's great. Fucking stupid. No, but what I'm saying is in the confines of the political game, the DNC has a good structure, but they have nobody good. Like they have everybody. They're just as corrupt as the right, as we all fucking have realized. They're just bad at their jobs when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Like the Republicans, hate them all you want and do hate them. They are very, very good at winning. They're good at winning elections. Their job. The GOP, terrible organization, but fuck, do they win every single time when they apply? They've almost flipped so many different states. They're in the I was still baffled to find out that New Hampshire is a purple state. Like that Michigan is trending that way. That fucking
New Hampshire has a
live free or die
Congress
and all that
and red governor. Yeah,
but they've got a blue or Democratic senator, right?
National senator.
Same thing with New Jersey too. Like it's just it's like, and New York is trending that way now. Like they are at risk of turning red. Like. It's so insane. Like the DNC, if you're listening, you're not, but fuck you if you are. You guys,
if you are, I'm unemployed. I'll take a job.
Yeah, that's true. Give Andrew a job. I don't want one
head of policy would be great. If you could just make me head of policy.
And you know what he could do? Let's pitch you right now. He could make your fucking organization better and maybe push you to the left and do the popular things that might get people elected instead of fucking spending how much? 20 million, billion, whatever, same fucking number.
19 million.
Like $19 million to get fucking Carrie Lake elected, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. How is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, How? Oh
Kari
my
Lake was
God.
one of the 7 that they helped get
Oh,
elected.
okay. Because I just used that as a general example of that's a crazy
you were right.
person. You should
you
not
actually
do that.
just hit the bullseye.
Son of
Yeah.
a bitch. Wow.
Kari Lake was one of the 7 that they spent millions of dollars on to help influence her election, have her win the primary.
God.
And what they do is they just pay for ads that like attack the moderate, right, from the right.
Sure. Yeah.
Like they just hire an ad company.
You
run
you
super
have the normal the normie moderate guy who has to lose now because you've fucking boosted this. What was she, a talk show host, and who just finally conceded losing the election? By the way, talk show isn't just a crazy, like, I mean, the embodiment of all Karens. Like, she kind of is. I mean, if you want, but we're
the Karen-esque.
She is the Karen. Like, I mean, she's got the hair. Please, everybody, stop having that haircut. Stop doing the weird Nazi side shaved thing and stop having the Karen haircut. Please.
Okay, as long as you're telling both men and women how to cut their hair, I think that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I'm
saying those two hair. No. It's no misogyny. It is. Those are the 2 worst haircuts of, like, when you see them, like, oh, that person sucks. Like on.
You mean like the Peaky Blinders haircut?
The Peaky, yeah, it's kind of a Peaky Blinders, but it's like. No, not Peaky Blinders, because that's I like Peaky Blinders. I don't know, just the Madison Cawthorn cut. That's the one that, like, dudes with the Madison Cawthorn cut. I don't know. Just those haircuts always scream the worst.
What were we talking about?
I don't fucking primaries, I think. I'm trying not to be sexist, but I'm not. These haircuts are bad. I'm very particular about hair. I take like I'm friends with a lot of hairstylists. It's just sometimes haircuts are bad.
I mean, you have a lot of hair. You're qualified.
Dude, check this shit out. Like, I'm about to cut it down. Oh fuck, it's stuck. Boom. Look at that. It's so fucking. Damn, it's hot as shit. It's 111 degrees.
Yeah, you look good though when you pull it down. It looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Jared Leto, but I don't want to be Jared Leto. Like,
no, it's definitely Stone Jesus.
Stone Jesus. I like that. Yeah, Lebowski Jesus.
That should be your band name.
Lebowski,
Stone Jesus and the Disciples.
Oh, Stoned Jesus and the Disciples. Oh, that's a dope name. Shit. Stoned Jesus and the Disciples.
Hey, I'm the writer.
That's a good. That's like a cool acid rock band name, man. They do. Oh, what was that?
Yeah, you play lo-fi acid rock.
Fuck yeah! Oh man, you might have just inspired an album, man.
I'm a manager.
Hell yeah!
Give me some money.
Well, that dope album aside, that will hopefully play is the new. This is our fight song when the next Democrat gets elected. Oh fuck!
Hey, you want to push the Democrat Party to the left? Go fucking vote in primaries.
Yeah, go vote in primaries. Like that's
you want to see what the Republicans are cooking up to be fucking evil next? Watch their primaries.
Yeah,
that's the point of this 2 episodes.
Yeah,
vote in the primaries. That's how you actually change shit. Because in the general, it's just going to be a Dem versus a Republican that can actually win in 90% of elections.
Yeah.
So vote in the primary and push the Democratic Party to the left. Put people like AOC. Put people like Governor Spitzer, put people like Governor Shapiro, put people
Washington
like
guy.
big old lurch boy.
Fetterman, yeah.
Fetterman in office. Put people like Bernie in office by voting them in the primaries and knocking out these Dems. AOC did that. We have to remember that AOC won her primary unexpectedly versus an old white traditional
incumbent
Democrat.
Yeah, dude. He'd been there for what, 20 years, something like that. Like,
I mean, upwards of 20 to 30. Yeah,
like it can be done. Like it has been done. Bernie would have won.
Our audience needs to vote.
That fucking Black Tuesday or whatever you want to call it, when Obama called everybody, like we talked about before. Bernie probably would have won if they had all not dropped out at the same time and gave their votes like to Joe.
If every young person that voted in the general voted for Bernie during the primary, he would have won.
Yeah, sure,
no doubt.
Like it. You can, like, I know voting's a burden.
Or voted for Biden in the general, voted for Bernie in the primary.
Yeah, like
then he would have won.
It's hard to vote in a lot of places, y'all, and we get that, but you gotta like do everything you can.
Get the ID you gotta get, even though it's unfair.
It's unfair.
Stay in line until
they have to let you
can't vote, which they have to let you vote in most places in most states if you stay in line.
Do they have,
make sure that you're registered?
Now?
You know the dates are.
Fuck.
I mean, it depends. Every state. Every state has a right to run their own election.
I mean, but then those laws that make it hard to vote will end up changing because you'll have voted in progressive people who run on popular policies, populist policies, and we can change things. Change is incremental, and that's the thing. What drives me up and down the walls. People that just bitch and moan about, I want it to happen right now. Well, it can't fucking happen right now because we fucked ourselves. Because the DNC is paying $19 million. It'll happen faster. But like,
if we actually make the Democrats,
people are pushing against you. We have to push harder, and that is by just going and voting. Like all of the people that sat out Beto O'Rourke. I know he's a weird old Gen X guy who's trying to be cool on a skateboard, but you know who we have now?
Kids.
Like he's the guy who is not governor. And now we still have Greg Abbott for 6 more years. And now we're about to impeach the fucking lieutenant or the attorney general because he's a corrupt piece of shit. And the lieutenant governor will probably, something might happen to him because he's also a corrupt piece of shit. Like they're all corrupt pieces of shit here. And we could have had something different if we had just come out and voted. We did vote in the primary, but nobody voted in the election. And that's also not on the people that didn't want to vote. Again, more inspiring candidates versus hello, fellow kids. Like the Steve Buscemi meme that was Beto O'Rourke, like the oldest young guy I've ever seen. Like, oh, cool, he was in a band with At the Drive-In. No, who cares? Everybody who's lived in El Paso was in a band with At the Drive-In. Gives a shit. Like, fucking, God, I hate Beto O'Rourke. Beto, I don't like you. I'm sure you're a cool guy, and you know what? I love At the Drive-In. I love punk rock, but shit, man.
No, Beto's chill. I don't.
He's
think
fine as a person, but fuck, don't run anymore, man. You can't win. Like, you should have run against John Cornyn and you would have won, by the way.
I agree.
But whatever. I have a lot of opinions on Beto O'Rourke.
See, we started off with our first recording audience with me being angry. And by the end of it, I've made Tim angry. Yeah. And I call that balance.
No, just thinking about Beto makes me angry. Like, it's just like, you tried to bow up against Greg Abbott. Like, not to mention I wasted like a lot of America the Podcast time making fucking anti-Greg Abbott shit that I thought I was going to make a difference. I didn't. I knew I was going to fail straight up.
Every time you got all happy about that, I just decided to be like, sure, Tim. Sure. It was like when you have like a lot of cool asthmatic boy who's like, I'm going to be a football player one day. And you can't break their heart. You're like, yeah.
No, I never thought I was going to make any sort of a difference at that. I was more just trying to sell t-shirts and give money from those t-shirts. Go buy a t-shirt. We're all doing.
This isn't actually about us caring about any of this audience. We're trying to sell t-shirts here. Come on.
Get out Greg t-shirts, America the Podcast t-shirts, the store. I think it's linked in the description. Fuck, I don't know. But it's there. Get out Greg shirt or kick out Ken.
Our main point is go fucking vote in the primaries.
Go fucking vote
and watch the Republican primaries to make sure you know what's coming.
Dude, their tactics are good. They're not. Yeah, they're good. Their tactics are good. They're smart.
They have been able to shape their party because they vote in their primaries.
They know what to do. Is every Republican votes. Remember that. One of them votes.
Why is Donald Trump president? Because his party's base voted for him in the primary against the establishment's wishes, but they turned out enough to fucking make it happen. Yep. And we can do the same thing on the left, the same thing in the Democratic Party. Voting in the primary is just as important as voting in the general.
Yeah.
That's what we need to make clear, audience. Voting in the primary is just as important as voting in the general if you actually want to see the Democrats change things.
Yeah. That's as good a place to end it as any. Just fucking vote, guys. Like, register, vote.org. There. It's so easy. It takes literally no time at all. Like, it would just take actual time. 5 seconds-ish. However fast you type, between 5 seconds to a minute. That's it. Like, you got a minute. That's like 3 TikTok videos, I think. No, wait, TikToks are a minute. Never mind. I don't know.
You're old.
No, TikToks aren't a minute. They can go longer now. YouTube Shorts are a minute. I'm getting my social things mixed up. TikTok goes like 10 minutes now. I know I'm old. I'm 36. It's fine. I'm not saying I'm not. I like being 36.
I'm 34, baby. I'm still on that coveted 20 to 35 crowd.
Oh, yeah. I had to fill out one of those things today where it was like, what's your age range? I'm like, 35 to 39.
I saw a TikTok the other day that was like every year from 1990 to 2005 and what year you were born, and then it said 1750 to 1990 as the first option, and I was like, oof.
Wow. All right, well, that's it. Just go vote, everybody. Register to vote, vote.org. Pay attention to everything.
I do have to close this out with one thing.
Okay.
I am the Highlander!
Watch out, Andrew Tate.
I'm coming.
been listening to America the Conversation, a production of Shway Media and America the Podcast Presents. The show was created and is hosted by Tim Phillippe and Andrew Turner. The show's theme song is by Timmy Two Step, and all other music and sounds heard in this show were procured through the amazing companies listed in our show notes. America the Conversation is mixed and edited by Tim Phillippe at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.